My name is Ryan. You guys are watching the Automotive Chaos YouTube channel. Today we're finally going to start lifting the body off of our 56 Chevy in order to replace the full floor. And I know you might be saying to yourself, is it really ready to come off the frame? I mean, the car was pretty much in half when you bought it. In that respect, yes. In other respects, no. I'm going to walk you around now, show you what else needs to be done before we can, in the safest way, I mean to strict OSHA standards, lift the body off the frame with just me. Trunk lid needs to come off. I have to clean out the interior of the car. Already got the steering column out. We'll get to that a little bit later. I'm gonna pull the complete front end off of the car, both fenders, inner fenders, the splash pan, grille, bumper, hood hinges. We'll take everything off. We got to call Safe Light for the windshield, and then you'll see these pieces of steel that are in the engine bay right now. Once we pull the doors off the car, we're going to start running some braces in between, so when this thing does get lifted and it doesn't have the strength of the floor in the center to support it, that it doesn't fold in half, because otherwise I'll have a really nice couch, because that's what I'm going to do. If it folds in half, I'll just cut the back off, stick a couple cushions in the trunk. New furniture. My wife will probably like it, right? Watch the paint. Not sure if you guys heard the rainstorm that happened when I tilted this trunk, but something tells me this is going to need some rust repair as well. So it is a few hours later, but let me show you guys what we got done. Obviously, trunk lid is off. Both doors off. Got all of the parts, tools, the rear seat, everything out of the interior. And you saw a little bit of the time lapse getting the front end off. Now, before I start welding braces inside of the car, I want to make sure that anything that I have to do in here before we start cutting is done. And the one thing that needs to get removed before we can start cutting the floor out is the rear seat brace. Now, you have this panel here. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a seam. So when you're cut, obviously I want to save this. So I'm going to drill out the spot welds. We'll remove that piece all along this side and up along the package tray up top. We'll remove this. And then once I do that, that'll give us a little bit better access to the seam where the trunk meets the floor behind there. All right, so I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to watch me drill out 100 spot welds because I don't want to actually drill out the spot welds, so it can't be any more fun to watch it. So I'll start doing that. We'll get those panels removed. Once we're done with that, I think it's be time to start welding some braces in and cross our fingers. And I'm finally done drilling out spot welds. You can see both flanges over there. Here, obviously most of the time you don't want to drill completely through unless it's the panel on top. So these holes here, the panel underneath looks like those, so we'll be able to just plug weld them once this all goes back in. These are the pieces that we took out. This was the center that went across. This is the piece up underneath the package tray. And then both dog legs here obviously go there. So with all that out, now we can finally see the exposed seam of where the trunk meets the floor. So I'm not going to do it right now because I want to keep as much structure in this thing as I can while I weld the braces on the inside. But once that's done, we'll be able to come in, we'll clean up this flange, and then anywhere where these two pieces are spot welded, we'll drill those out. Not with this spot weld driller. I'll just take probably like a 3/8 drill bit, sink all the holes, separate the two flanges, and then once the new floor is sandwiched up in between, we can plug weld the back. So moving along, I'm going to put these in the trunk, get these out of the way, probably run the vacuum in here, clean some of this stuff up. Oh, look at this. Cool, more. That's what I wanted to do. Get everything cleaned up in here, and yeah, I think it's time to start welding some braces in. Got my braces welded in, one across each door, one across the inner quarter panels, and then I put another one up to the roof. There's really no tension on that one. It's just kind of to keep it in place, and it's welded nice and solid to this bottom bar here. I'm going to continue my little access panel here straight across. This way I can walk through the middle of the car. I think I have 4 or 5 more body bolts to go, and we can finally start lifting this thing. All right, so I can't avoid it any longer. Time to attempt lifting the body. So here's my plan. I have a 4x4 that goes a good deal inside underneath the lip of the quarter panel. Obviously I have my engine hoist set up in the back with a 56 Chevy body lifting rated ratchet strap. And we're gonna lift it up. I bought 4 of these sawhorses. They're good for like, what are they? 1,300 pounds each. That should be more than enough to support this thing. The next interesting part is going to be, can I get this thing up enough in the air and position the sawhorses underneath it and then let it back down onto those. But we're going to find that out now. So let's give it a shot. All right, so we are down on the sawhorses, pretty sturdy. See, there's a little bit of slack in the strap, not much. I did keep some tension on the hoist. As of now, we have the back of the car, a good deal off the frame. What I may end up doing is taking the rear tires off and putting it on wheel dollies just to get it out, because it'll make it a little bit more narrow and it'll drop it down a little bit more too, because looking at the, get the light on, looking at the wheel arch now, that's going to have to come down a good amount. So that's not ideal. I kind of thought it was going to happen. I did not have enough room to get the engine hoist from behind the car and out of the garage. So I had to take the entire thing apart. But it's outside now. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to reassemble the hoist. And I think what I'm going to do, I'll show you guys in a minute. So we're going to take this chain and I'm going to run it from the hood hinge bolts side to side. And then hopefully we'll just link it in the center, the front of the body off the frame. And then I have 2 more of those sawhorses and some of Home Depot's finest curved wood. So I'll run that in between the 2 sawhorses and then keep our fingers crossed that while I'm cutting the floor out of this thing, the car doesn't fall on me. So I'm going to call it for tonight. It's getting a little late. Can't be making too much more noise, but we'll definitely be back on this tomorrow. Hopefully get the front end lifted and the frame rolled out, and then we can really start cutting the floor. Okay, it is the next day, and slight change of plans. But rather than going from the bolts for the hood hinges, I actually just put a ratchet strap in between the 2 braces that run down to the frame. And then we have our engine hoist hooked back up. So I'm going to set this up and just very carefully start to raise the body up, and once we get it high enough that I can slide the 4x4 through, hopefully we'll have the body completely off the frame and we can work on rolling the chassis out from underneath. Okay, with our frame finally out of the way, it's time to start cutting. Now, obviously every seam along the rockers we do not have to worry about because we put new rockers in the car. So those flanges are good to go. We'll sand them, I'm going to drill some holes so we can plug weld them, but as far as cutting goes, don't have to touch that. So I have to do the seam along the toe board. Up along the transmission tunnel. Obviously the toe board is going to need some repairs, specifically on the passenger side, but the driver's side doesn't look like it's any bargain either, but we'll find out more once we get this zip screwed patch panel out. And then we can work our way all the way up the back to that seam that we exposed when we removed the rear package tray support and the rear seat brace. Now you have rails all along the inner quarter panels. This one was there at one time, not anymore. So we're going to have to come up with a fix for that. And then the only other spot is along the rear wheel wells, which I will probably end up just cutting around, and then we'll just grind and sand the flange flush and prep that for our new panel. So, starting to come along. I'm pretty happy with how stable the car feels on the wood and the sawhorses, but I don't want to leave it like this for very long, so hopefully I can get the floor cut out and the new one situated and welded in, get this thing back on the frame, and I'll feel a little bit better. So let me start cutting. Obviously, we got the rest of the floor cut out of the car. Rest in peace to the drill bit that separated that back flange, because that'll never work again, but it's done, it's out. I still have to clean up the flanges along the wheel wells. The inner rockers actually need a little bit of work. And along this driver's side wheel well, especially in the seam, kind of where it meets the inner quarter panel, obviously, you know, you can see a little bit of light through there. So we have to do that. I still have to clean up the transmission tunnel, and I'm going to order some patches for the toe board, but we're getting there. Thankfully the car didn't fall on me. It's still in one piece. All of our braces are still intact, and yeah, I gotta run to the store, get some more cut-off wheels, some grinding discs, and we'll be back in this in a little bit. I have almost all of the flanges punched out, ground down to bare metal, and primed with weld-through primer. I did the inside of the quarter rocker panels and the quarter panels as well. Last thing we have to do before this floor is ready to go in, well, two more things, but the toe boards, the patches came the other day. I'm gonna wait until I think the floor is in the car to do those, because I wanna get a little bit of strength back in the center. But what I am gonna do before the floor goes in is focus on fixing the inner wheel tub and then the bottom of the quarter. I have a patch cut out for that side over there. Still have to do this one, and this one's a little bit more tricky because of that corrosion that goes all the way up the wheel well. So I'll show you what we have to hopefully fix that. All right, so the diameter of this pipe fits just about perfectly inside the wheel well. So what I'm gonna do is I already started bending it a little bit. I'm going to use my press and hopefully just keep working this a little bit until that metal will fit inside that wheel well, and then we can cut the old piece out and put the new piece in. You can see it puts a pretty nice bend in that. Go fit this up and see if we can start trimming this down to weld it in place. My camera died halfway through, but our wheel well patch is complete. I didn't go crazy grinding the welds down, just because you're not going to see it. But this is nice and structurally sound now. Same thing here. I added a flange to the inner quarter panel so we can weld the floor up to that. That's nice fresh metal. Coated everything with weld-through primer. Alright, so I think we are finally ready to roll the floor underneath the body of this car. That was a lot of work. It made an incredible mess, but I'm really happy about that hopefully being the last step to get this floor in. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to prep the floor and start filming the next video as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.